Hello, Internet. So, are video games being engineered to be addictive? Are little psychological weaknesses in our mind being exploited to force us to buy games, some of which we don't even like? Well, before I go down that rabbit hole, and it is quite the rabbit hole, let me welcome you to the Empirical Sword. I'm Lord Master DLC79. I'm an INTJ. I'm a gamer, and I talk quite incessantly about things, sometimes. So, are video games being engineered to be addictive? Short answer, yes. I don't do short answers. So, let me flash back to my earliest days in a game that I used to play, RuneScape, an MMO. And as soon as I say MMO, most people are hopefully thinking, oh, addictive, because that's essentially the business model that MMOs subscribe to, because they need players to come back. They don't need players to just buy the game once and then be done with it. They need players to keep coming back and subscribing month after month after month after month after month. And unfortunately, exploiting addictive tendencies in the human brain is just the easiest way to do that. I'm not saying it's the best way, it's just easy, and, well, a lot of businesses want easy money rather than good money. But that's... I'm getting off on a tangent. So, my earliest days in RuneScape were like in the year 2000, so the brain is a little fuzzy. I can't remember exactly what I was doing. I might have been fighting goblins, I might have been mining, I might have been what I don't remember. Whatever it was, I was obviously gaining XP and a skill, and oh, I leveled up. So let's continue doing that. I leveled up again. Well, let's continue doing that some more. I leveled up again, and again, and again, and again, throughout the course of like 2 hours. Not the 10-hour binge session that a lot of gamers devote to that game, or have. I don't know the actual tendencies in the current game because I haven't played in over a year. But how is this addictive? Well, to the right kind of person, the right kind of customer, you leveled up. This is essentially one of the goals that they come into the situation having, that they want to level up. So getting the message, you leveled up, you're stronger now, that makes them feel good. And it releases a little thing, a little neurotransmitter called dopamine in the human brain, which is basically your internal reward system. Evolutionarily speaking, it's meant to keep you alive. It's meant to reward you for doing things that are good for your survival. The human body evolved during situations of starvation. So if you're starving and you eat food, oh, dopamine. Keep doing that. Do that again. That way you don't starve to death. If you're dehydrating and you drink water, dopamine. Do that again. And I mean, there are other examples. I won't go through the whole list, but if it's something that keeps you alive, dopamine. Well, the human brain has gotten a lot more complex over 10,000 years of development. So there are a lot of things associated with our survival that isn't just food, water, and shelter and things like that. And there are a lot of things that we treat as being related to survival, even though they aren't. Like watching Game of Thrones, or the Kardashians, or whatever else is on TV. I don't watch a lot of TV, or I don't watch a lot of what other people watch. But the point is, to certain people, the level up message is kind of associated with survival. So it's one of the things they want to do. It's a goal that they have going into something. They want to create a character that will level up and get stronger. So you leveled up, oh, dopamine. And you leveled up again, oh, dopamine. You leveled up again, dopamine. And just keep repeating that over and over and over again. Do you see the addiction yet? Well, here's where it gets worse. If you go back the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and continue trying to level up in that one skill, one thing, if you follow your progress through the game with detailed notes, and I didn't, because it very quickly became obvious that you're like, I got 10 levels in this 2-hour session, and the next day I got like 8 levels in a 2-hour session, and then 5 levels, and then 3 levels, and then 2 levels, and then 1, and then now I'm not even getting 1 level in a 2-hour session. The time between level ups is increasing. The time between dopamine releases is increasing. It's kind of like this exponential curve. You enter in, it's kind of flat and with a little slight upward slope, but then it kind of curves up very steeply after about level 50. And it's once the curve starts ramping up, that's when the jonesing begins. And see, to someone like me, that's when I start getting frustrated with the game, because it's like it's squeezing time out of my life. Other gamers aren't like that. Other gamers, they only want the reward, and they will devote anything they feel they can live without in order to get the reward. So if it involves devoting 5 hours of an afternoon that they would spend watching TV, oh, let's just devote 5 hours to pursuing this skill in this game. And if they have a day off of work and, oh, I have 10 hours of nothing to do, let's just go into this game and devote that 10 hours to this skill. In their minds, that time isn't worth as much as getting that dopamine release. Truth is, your time is actually far more precious than dopamine, because you never get your time back. You're always running out of it. And this right here is part of breaking free from the dopamine addiction and preventing it from happening in the first place. And that's basically what this is called, dopamine addiction. You get addicted to this little release of feel-good hormone, a neurotransmitter. It's not a hormone. Brain fart. We don't edit, so that's going to stay in there. But you get addicted to this little neurotransmitter release that makes you feel good. So you're willing to sacrifice things that you're willing. It basically skews your perception of how valuable things are, and it causes you to believe that the dopamine release is more valuable than the time it takes to get there. But the key to breaking free of it, and the key to avoiding it in the first place, is to realize that your time is finite. You never know when you're going to be out of time. It is far more precious than anything on planet. It is more precious than money. Never be cheap with your time. No, never be generous with your time. Always be cheap with it. I find it ironic that I said we don't edit here, but all of a sudden I have something that I need to edit out because I'm trying to think of just the right way to say something so that it doesn't sound stupid. Bottom line, you could spend 10 hours pursuing one dopamine release, or you could devote that exact same 10 hours to another activity that could get you more. Opportunity cost, cost-benefit analysis. And I realize I said that a little fast, cost-benefit analysis. I have a tendency to talk a little fast sometimes, especially when I'm excited. This is the kind of discussion that excites me. And the next part of this discussion, where I say, does this apply to more than just video games? That's the thing that really excites me, because now we're taking this one little idea here and then broadening it out to the entire world. And yes, it does apply to more than just video games. I already mentioned Game of Thrones and the Kardashians and whatever else people watch on TV. People get addicted to this because they want to show up and see what these crazy people are going to do. And then seeing something crazy, oh, dopamine. because they need to see people being crazy to feel good somehow. And yes, people get addicted to making money. People get addicted to going into their jobs. People get addicted to food. I mean, imagine all the things that people get addicted to. It's all about dopamine. It's all about getting that little feel-good sensation, a little hit of feel-good sensation. But the thing is, the time you spend to get that one little hit, you could spend that on something completely different. Maybe something that will benefit the world or benefit people around you. And you get an even bigger hit of dopamine. You know, why spend your time pursuing a little jolt of dopamine for yourself when you could benefit someone else's life? Give them a jolt of dopamine and yourself. Which is a better use of time? And now I'm just editing for the fun of it. But yeah, that is the basic point of this entire video, which went on a little too long. Well, not too long. Longer than I expected. But yes, we like to think about these deep topics here on the Empirical Sword. And if that's your sort of thing, if you're into video games and the intellectual stuff, then subscribe and hit that. Oh, but the school doesn't teach. The other playlist where I talk about the things the school should be teaching but isn't, so that we can be empowered to pursue our own course in life, to forge our own path. You know, it's going to show up at the it's a playlist. It's going to be linked to you at the end of the video. It might even be on screen right about now, right over here in this area. I'm trying, yeah, okay, in this area right here. I'm trying to place my hands according to where they are on the screen. That's very difficult. But just click on that if you feel like it. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe and bell icon if this sort of thing is your thing. And whatever you're watching next, I will see you then.